Welcome to this new Flight Simulator update movie. In this movie we're gonna fly to Arlington, which is close to Ronald Reagan Airport, because this city received, I would say, a photogrammetry update. So it's pretty close to Washington, right? So in Washington you see a lot of point of interest being added, while Arlington only has, I would say, a lot of, photogrammetry content being added. So we're gonna ignore the ATC for now. I'm gonna continue, I would say, our trip. You can see that is, I would say, a nice area, right? We would say move for say direction. We can see the Pentagon and several other point of interest. So that's cool. And almost right in front of us there's Arlington, right? So let me go inside the navigation, because then I can look at the G1000 navigation system from the Cessna 172, which is the G1000 NXI edition, right? So it's the beta version of the navigation system, but it works pretty well. It still is under development, but it works nicely. So here we go. So this is the direction we should fly into. Then we're gonna push the nose a little bit down, right? Adjust the trim wheel because we don't want to continue climbing. And then we're gonna ignore the ATC for now. Right, normally you should answer the ATC, of course, and I should have done it also, but due to the fact that I set up a flight plan using the using the world map flight planner, it simply makes it automatically that you've been assigned the ATC, etc. So we're almost there, right? You can see it already on the map. So we need to change our course a little bit more to the right. Also adjust the trim wheel a bit because we continue to climb, and we're climbing in the clouds. So let's go outside the aircraft. So we're almost there, right? So we can already see some buildings over here, but this is not the photogrammetry content yet. So in the meantime I'm gonna decrease the altitude a bit because we're flying too high to see that nice photogrammetry content which has been added. Right, so let's keep an eye on it. Yeah, so this is the photogrammetry content, right? We were already flying above it, and you can see that multiple buildings have been added here, right? So this is the, I would say, probably the city center of Arlington. A lot of nice buildings. So let's, I would say, dive down a little bit so we can take a closer look at it. Also, of course, keep an eye on the speed. And let's try to decrease the altitude. In the meantime, we're gonna make a turn, right? Because we're already flying, I would say, a little bit too far. So I'm playing this on the Xbox Series X with the Velocity 1 flight stick. It's definitely a recommendation if you want to have, I would say, a good one. I really like it. There are so many, I would say, options and buttons on it that I'm sometimes lost which button I need to press, right? So that's, I would say, that's the only challenge you have. But overall, it's, I would say, flying really nice. All the custom profiles which you can create are really cool. So here we go again for a second pass on Arlington. You see a nice soccer or a nice sport center over here. So let's change the view a bit, and then we can see all those nice buildings, right? Including, let's say, not sure what kind of building it is, but it looks like a really cool with some tennis court or something. In the meantime, we need to watch out that we're not decreasing the altitude, of course, too much, because then we would land on one of those beautiful buildings. Let's press the throttle a bit more. So this is the second or the first round above Arlington. So if you live in that neighborhood, or in that area, I would love to hear from you. Okay, how realistic is it, right? Is it, let's say, is it really up to date? And are those buildings, I would say, really nicely modeled? Keep in mind that these are not point of interest, right? The point of interest are handmade, handly modeled. while this photogrammetry content is based on big maps, which could in some cases already be a little bit outdated. So here we go again for the next pass. Also increase throttle a bit, because we were going a little bit too slow, as you saw. So here are some nice buildings, right? And you can see that they are, let's say, some of them are really having more detail compared to the other ones. So it also depends on the big maps quality. But overall, it looks, let's say, definitely has improved compared to the default content. But again, if you're living into that area, then yeah, let me know by leaving a comment below this video if it is realistic or not. I've never been there myself, so I can't judge on that. So I'm gonna make another tour. And over the, let's say, sport facilities. You can also see a highway, right? That's also a good idea, or a nice idea, to fly over the highway and simply follow it. That's what we call VFR flights. Using that, we can follow it using visual, let's say, visual recognition points. One of them could be the highway, and see where it ends. Probably it's a pretty long highway. So really cool to see, right? You can even see the, I would say, air conditioning and cooling units on the roofs of those buildings. You can also follow this path, right, which we didn't have a look at yet. Also looks pretty nice. So cool to see all these nice additions, right? They are, let's say, added by installing the latest world update, which is world update number 10. So if you didn't do it already, hard to say, then have a look at the marketplace and make sure that you install the additional content, because if you install only the update, it won't install this additional content. So here ends this video. In this video we flew over Arlington, which received a photogrammetry update. I hope you liked this video. If you liked it, then consider to use the like button. If you got questions or comments, then feel free to post them in the comment box below. And if you want to stay up to date about new videos I'm posting, then make sure that you're subscribing to my channel. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.